Good evening, everybody. This is your favorite aspiring revolutionary here, a wandering author, reminding you that we are all the authors of our own lives. As always, my message remains the same: spend less, live more, earn your freedom with frugality. Today, we're going to talk about reciprocity. And this is a pretty long chapter in Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics, the fifth chapter, so we'll probably break it up over today and tomorrow, if not 3 days. But to begin with, he says a pretty cool quote. The view also is held by some that reciprocity is justice. This was the doctrine of the Pythagoreans, who defined the just simply as suffering reciprocally with one another. It's literally like taking the eye for an eye type of thought, right? Even among those that held this view of justice, lots of exceptions are known to arise, such as when superiors strikes an inferior. So, the very existence of the state depends on proportionate reciprocity. For men demand that they shall be able to requite evil with evil. If they cannot, they feel that they are in the position of slaves, and to repay good with good, failing which no exchange takes place. And it is exchange that binds them together. #profound. And this is towards the end of the chapter, but he's going to get into how money in markets and some of these things operate. And I do actually like this because we need to remember that Aristotle's writing in a time before what we think of as science is even a thing. So all of these concepts that he's explaining some of them kind of seem common sense to us, but these are the first time they're really fully enunciated in Western history. But hence, all commodities exchanged must be able to be compared in some way. And that ties into this. So this is why we set up a shrine of the graces in a public place to remind men to return a kindness. And this diagram is talking about how basically a society works. And Aristotle's going to go on and talk about how builders build houses, but builders also need shoes, and shoemakers have to make the shoes, but the shoemakers need the houses which the builders build. And then he goes in, he literally describes it mathematically. And I'll do one section, but if I went through every single one, it's kind of dense and boring. But it's still kind of an interesting thought experiment. So he says, now proportionate requital is affected by diagonal conjunction, and that's what this is, diagonal conjunction. For example, let A be builder, B be shoemaker, C a house, and D a shoe. It is required that the builder shall receive from the shoemaker a portion of the product of his labor and give him a portion of the product of his own. And he's literally describing what just business or like ethical business is in this section. Now, we all know that a house is worth more than shoes, but the law of just reciprocation demands we find a way to equalize this exchange or it won't finalize. In other words, we've got to figure out a way to describe how many houses are equal a shoe or how many shoes are equal a house. And that's where this comes in. He gets into why money exists, basically, and we're going to talk about that one tomorrow because that's really a pretty crucial concept in our society. But if proportionate equality between the products be first established, then reciprocation will take place. But if this is not done, the bargain is not equal, and intercourse does not continue. 558. The law of just reciprocation influences all the arts which would not exist without equivalent compensation. And this holds good with other arts as well, for they would have passed out of existence if the active element did not produce and did not receive the equivalent in quantity and quality of what the passive element receives. And what he's saying is the reason why artists of any kind are able to make a living is because the passive element, which is the listener, the person who consumes the art, the person who watches TV, they are getting some kind of value out of that, and so they pay the artist for it. And that's how come art's able to exist. And Aristotle reminds us that physicians don't solely shop at other physicians' office, and that society is formed of potentially unequal associations of exchange. Hence, all commodities exchanged must be able to be compared in some way. And tomorrow, we're going to get into Aristotle's monetary theory, which is still in chapter 5, but it's a longer chapter, so we're going to break it up into multiple parts. I know that my videos haven't been coming out exactly on a day-to-day basis, but I've been enjoying myself quite a bit lately, working at a new company. I like where I like what I'm doing. Yeah. Anyways, this is a wandering author here, reminding you that we are all the authors of our own lives. Oh yeah, we're on the other side of that. So I'm in a different hotel room, but at the same hotel, and so like the rooms switched around. So it's like the same layout, but mirror. This is a wandering author here, reminding you that we are all the authors of our own lives. As always, my message remains the same: spend less, live more, earn your freedom with frugality. What are you guys doing in order to inspire, uplift, and empower your local community today? Because this world isn't changing unless we all do our part, and you can count on me to do mine daily. Till next time, I love y'all. Good night.